Good morning, Slop Nation, and welcome to Slop Chop. This is a new podcast hosted by myself, Harvey Mulvihill. It's about the happenings of the internet, and it is your one-stop shop for slop. I'm joined today by no one. What's up, everyone? Thanks for coming back. I'm trying to get back onto the 1 week on, 1 week off cadence. Guest, no guest. I just got out of Toy Story 5. We're gonna talk about Toy Story, dude. I'm very, very curious your thoughts, Slops, on this franchise, man. I just went to go see Toy Story 5 by myself at Alamo Drafthouse. I had a fun little interaction there. My coworker, Maya, shouts out Maya. Just to set the stage here, I had told no one that I was going to see this movie. I saw this movie kind of on a whim today, just now. I'm midway through the movie. I leave to pee and I check my phone at a urinal. And who is it but Maya, my beloved coworker, who says, "How's Toy Story?" question mark. And then the second text, "Seat 2305 is a crazy pick, by the way." I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like looking over my shoulder in the men's bathroom as if my female coworker would be behind me. It's like, what the? She has to be like the row behind me or something. But like, what the fuck? So I walk back in and I'm looking, like scanning the rows as I'm going to sit down, and I do not see her. I see families, husbands, wives, and their children watching Toy Story, but no Maya. So I'm just like, what the? So I send her like 15 question marks, put my phone back in my pocket, and sit down. And my phone's whatever buzzing in my pocket, but I'm left in mystery for the rest of the screening because I'm not one to pull my phone out during a fucking movie to check and see how this happened. So anyway, I found out shortly thereafter. We have another coworker who used to work at Alamo, and I share my location with Maya. Maya was peeping my location, saw that I was at Alamo. She's sitting with Limmy, who's their coworker that used to work at Alamo, who still has access to their system somehow. I'm probably ratting on her right now. She probably should definitely, as a matter of fact, definitely should not have that access, but she still has the ticketing access and just like searched my last name and saw exactly where I was sitting. So they sent me that Big Brother ass terrifying text message. It's also like an interesting wrinkle that the movie's sort of about surveillance a bit. It's one of the themes. As we'll get into here, Toy Story is kind of packed with themes. There's not really a theme that you can point to for each movie and say that's the movie about this, although I do like to do that. As a matter of fact, that's my favorite thing to do with this franchise for some reason. Toy Story 3 is about death. Toy Story 4 is about inner peace. They're kind of all about inner peace. We'll get into it. But anyway, fun little moment. Shouts out to Maya and Limmy. You guys terrified me. I just got out of 5, and I've also been, over the past several weeks, rewatching the whole franchise before I go see the new one, which has been fun. A good fun exercise. I did a couple things I noticed. You try to do, because this is a family franchise. Pixar's Toy Story. It's for children. If you, it's a fucking kids movie franchise, and I wanted to rewatch these beloved childhood films with my parents. So you try to make plans and sit down with your parents to watch 4 movies before you go see the 5th one in the theater. And it sounds so good on paper. Like, yeah, over the next 4 days, we'll just watch a Toy Story movie every night. And then on the 5th day, we'll go see the new one in theaters. And then you realize that, like, we all have lives. My parents are old. They go to sleep at 5:30 p.m. and I work late, and like it's just never going to happen. We managed to see one. We rewatched the first one, and then made that's an exaggeration. We rewatched 3/4 of the first one before my parents were like, "Whoo!" 90-minute movie, by the way. 90-minute movie. Well, it's about that time, Harvey. I'm heading up. I'm heading up. And so they both went and passed out because it was 9:12 p.m. or whatever. And I finished the movie that night, and we made plans. They're like, we'll finish it tomorrow, and then we'll watch number two tomorrow. Cut to 2 weeks later, and nothing's happened. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna just rewatch 2, 3. I watched 2 and 3 in the same day on one of my days off, and then I rewatched 4 2 nights ago by myself, and then I went to go see 5 just now again, all by my lonesome. I need some people in my life who are down to watch movies like I am. Can't be with my parents. They have to be like young, able-bodied, not sleepy. I'm sleepy, but you make time, You make time for Toy Story. Toy Story is important. All that to say, I've had a really good time rewatching the franchise. I've had a long-standing opinion that 4 is underappreciated, overhated, and great actually. And unfortunately, my opinion on 4 has diminished with the rewatch. This is I think I saw it twice back to back, and then this third time, years later, I was like, okay, it's good, but it's not. But let's start at the first one, dude. Toy Story 1, first ever completely computer animated film released by Pixar. It was like Pixar was on the verge of bankruptcy. They were saved by Steve Jobs, who gave them a coin purse and allowed them to finish this extremely ambitious project. And then the project was a super huge hit, and it put them on the map. And then they got bought by Disney shortly thereafter and made a bunch more movies. You probably know the story. But it's such a phenomenal movie. That first one is just so great. The lore that it sets up immediately, they do the show don't tell so well in that first film. They just kind of expect you to keep up with the rules, the logic of the rules. They just present it to you. It's not like they're sitting you down and telling you what the rules are. Now remember, guys, when the kids come in, we gotta just freeze up. You like they now just so we're all on the same page. We cannot be seen moving by children. That would be like a cardinal sin until we break that in the third act for a gag. Once in the first movie and then never again, which makes me think that they regretted their decision. It was a hastily made decision, but anyway, yeah, the toy logic, which is so cute and fun, that they're alive, and then it's just when you're not looking that they're moving all the time, and it's perfect for a kid because you can never beat that logic. It's kind of like if a tree falls in the woods, like if you can't see it or hear it, it theoretically could be happening. You never know. So perfect for imagination of a kid. I'm sure many parents over the past several years have used this movie to their advantage and scooted the toys a little bit, rearranged them or whatever, and put them into some sort of a scene overnight, much like a Tooth Fairy thing, cause some like the kid wakes up and sees that they're all in a pile, in a different place than they left them. I'm sure that's happened many, many times. So, but anyway, hilarious, great, really sweet foundation for a film. There's your pitch. There's your idea. The toys are alive, and they have all kinds of toy problems, and like also their ultimate goal. They are the most fulfilled when they are being played with, which is very sweet and wholesome. And they're also like they're human in their emotions. They're essentially human there, but their problems are toy. So like again, the biggest thing in the world to them is being played with by a kid. And if anything threatens their ability to do that, they get like terrified, mortally scared. And there's toys that get donated, there's toys that get thrown away. And everyone's aware of these, inevitabilities, and they kind of just accept them and keep pushing, which is where you get your metaphorical theming, right? So much of the franchise can be attributed to real life, stages of life or stages of acceptance. And the first one, The first one's just like, what if a new cooler guy comes and steals your thunder? A new cooler guy arrives, and your deepest insecurity is that you're no good, that you're like useless or old or whatever. And suddenly this new guy comes in, and everyone loves the new guy, and everyone starts realizing that all your insecurities are in fact true, that you are washed up, and that you uh deserve to die. That's kind of the fear of it. If you take it to its natural conclusion, is that you may as well just be dead. I guess I'm extrapolating a little bit. It's more like yeah. You know what the fuck I'm trying to say. And then I guess the way it plays out, new guy turns out to be just part of the team. Luckily, this new guy did not replace you. He's just supplemental to your life. It's like getting a little brother or something, and you think that the world's ending. You think that everything's over, and that all the attention will be given to little brother. And meanwhile, both of you guys, eventually both of you will just come to terms with the fact that there's two of you now, right? That's kind of the vibe. So it's different, not worse, but different. Like Buzz Lightyear or Buzz little brother brings much joy to you actually, and you have like a good relationship. And then the owners, which I guess would be parents, the closest connection there is like your parents would be the kids that you're being played with. Again, the metaphors are a little wishy-washy. There's not a clear immediate point A to point B theme. It's not immediately obvious what's going on. Each movie doesn't just have one immediately clear idea. There's lots of ideas, and they're all kind of murky, and you can kind of draw your own conclusions. And then again, a lot of them are simple because these movies are made for children. And then the big scary adult themes are kind of put upon these movies by adults a lot of the time, I think. I don't think that about 3. I think 3 really is about accepting death, but we'll get to that. But just every plot point in that first movie is unbelievable. The opening birthday party, the Army Rangers going on a mission to report back to the rest of the toys what's being opened. Incredible, so fun, such a great idea. The fact that you have your bad kid across the street who is rough with his toys and he's decapitating them and he's creating these sort of horrific amalgamations. These are very much of a Dr. Frankenstein. Unbeknownst to him, he is a bit of a Dr. Frankenstein. Um, there's like a long-standing internet thing that Sid is based and is actually not a villain at all, because how could he possibly know that the toys were alive? How could he possibly know that? He's more just like an artist. He's like a little creepy, and he's mean to his little sister. That's his biggest crime, is that he's mean to his little sister. He's not evil. If he knew the toys were alive, I'm sure he would not be decapitating them. But he thinks they're toys. Only the toys are in fact sentient, therefore making him like a monster. It'd be like, I don't know. It's kind of like the equivalent of that horrible movie Sausage Party, where the food is taken by the humans, and the humans are like skinning the potatoes, and your thought is like the humans are presented as evil, but the humans are just eating food. They don't know that Seth Rogen is in the hot dog. So Sid gets a bad rap. He's more of like the kid's probably got just like a bright future as a creepy Tim Burton type creative individual who has a sort of creepy and warped sense of artistic style, but people are into that, you know? He's gonna be making just creepy cool shit growing up. He's gonna be like the next Salad Fingers. Shouts out to Sid. There's also the Easter egg in 3 when there's the guy who's delivering the garbage is wearing Sid's same shirt. as a little nod, like, hey, this is where that kid ended up. He's a fucking garbage man. But then you like pretty disrespectful to our beloved boys in brown who are removing our trash. But also, if you go watch that scene, that guy's having the time of his life. He's whistling. He's listening to music. He's having a good old time of it, dude. He's enjoying life. He's, by the way, he hasn't gained a pound since he was 9 years old. He's still wearing the same shirt. Like many of us would kill for that body type. So shouts out to Sid, killing it as a garbage man, waste disposal associate. And he's probably just low key working on his Tim Burton esque projects on the side or full time and doing the garbage thing to like pay the bills. He's like a full time artist, that guy. Shouts out to Sid, dude. Fuck these people who think that Sid is like an asshole. You grow out of being mean to your sister too. That's not something that like sticks. We were mean to our little brother Sean for years. Years we were mean to him. We picked on him. He was the youngest and we were mean to him. And then we all grew up and we apologized and we are cool now. That's how it works, dude. The littlest sibling gets a whole lot of shit, an unnecessary amount of shit. Sure, it provides causes like a fair amount of trauma and general sort of anger. um, and it is unjust, absolutely, absolutely. It's unfair, but that's what you get for being born last, you fucking dweeb. Also, you get a bunch of good shit too. Like your parents do not give a flying flip about what you do. Like Sean, maybe I shouldn't get into this, but Sean was like smoking weed in the house. Like growing up, he like whatever discovered weed around the same time the other two of us did, and was just blazing like in front of my parents. They were like, "Yeah, whatever, I don't give a fuck." Cut to 4 years earlier when I was discovering marijuana, and it was like code red lockdown, like all hatches closed, grounded forever, terrified. Yeah, anyway. Things just shift. So there's pros and cons to it. You can't choose any of it anyway, so it's not really, it is what it is. But anyway, speaking of little brother, that is kind of the Buzz Lightyear thing. That is kind of the vibe of the first one. That's your theme, but the intricacies of the plot are phenomenal. The animation pretty much holds up. I think it looks great. The movies get better looking as they go along. I think the jump from the starkest jump movie to movie is 3 to 4, but they all progressively improve. 2 looks quite a bit better than 1. 3 looks way better than 2, and 4 is like freaking stunningly beautiful. I think 4 is the best looking movie in the franchise. I think 4 is better than 5 actually. You could probably make the argument that 5 is better, but it's kind of the same way as most technology where your initial progress is so apparent. Your N64 to GameCube is, I mean, ridiculous jump. But then your GameCube to Wii, less so. And then Wii to Wii U is like nothing, and then fucking Wii U to Switch. Or do the PlayStation version of that. PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2, insane, ridiculous jump. 2 to 3, pretty big jump. 3 to 4, what are we doing? It's like the same. It's improvement. You can say like, I get it, but it's not. The curve evens out. That's how technology works. By the way, meanwhile, in every that is every space except for computer chips. Where was it Moore's law? Whose law is that? That these semiconductor chips will double in power every 2 years. What's the thing? Shrink by half in size. We're already on like the molecular level for these computer chips. So the computer chips thing does not make sense to me even a little bit. It doesn't. I'm thinking about it because I'm trying to get a computer, thinking about upgrading, and I was looking at Max and I fucked up, dude. I was like, I had my finger on the trigger about to buy this thing, buy a new Mac Studio, and then a day later they raised the price by $1,500. They raised all their prices on everything because of the memory shortage. So I have the opposite of buyer's remorse. I have buyer's regret. Wait, no, that's the same thing. I have non-buyer's remorse, where I should have bought the thing, but now it costs $2,000 more, and um, I'm wondering if it will eventually go back down, or if it's just going to continue to rise. If I should continue, if I should just do it. Let me know in the gosh dang comments if I should pull the trigger on a Mac slash PC. I'm debating which one I want. If I should do it, if I should wait. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Decision paralysis. So anyway, that's Toy Story 1. It's fantastic. It's my second favorite in the franchise. It's goated. And like for everything that is set up, for the company that it created, for the characters it created. My other brother Patrick was a huge Buzz Lightyear kid. He had a ton of buzzes. The franchising rights alone will make us rich beyond our wildest dreams. It is a franchise built for toys, obviously. It's a franchise built for merchandise, and I'm sure they definitely pump that shit out. Shouts out to the first one. Moving on to the second one. People just glaze this movie like nothing else. People love Toy Story 2 so much. I have never been a fan. I've never liked it much as a kid. I rewatched it probably 5 years ago. I was like, it's fine. And then I was like, all right, literally everyone and their mother loves Toy Story 2 to the point where people say it's the best in the franchise, better than 3. And you go, okay, maybe I'm wrong. And here we have a new one in theaters. It's time to rewatch the whole franchise. Maybe my mind will be altered. My opinion will change finally, and I'll get on the Toy Story 2 bandwagon. Wrong, sloppers. No. Personally, I don't like it much. It's fine. I will say, like, my least favorite Toy Story movie is better than most other animated movies out there. And number 2 is, come to think of it, it is my least favorite of the 5. I just don't vibe with it. What is our theming here? The conclusion is, okay, so you're left with a okay, how do we relate this to real life? Our dilemma is, do we sit on a shelf and be observed, or do we actually get down and dirty and play with the kid? Assuming the observation will last much longer than the down and dirty play. This strikes me as something similar to, bear with me, sloppers, this is social media. Social media is the theme of number 2. Because you can put all of your life and post everything and have like a ton of followers. Or you can actually engage with human beings in the real world and create meaningful connections. But those connections are temporary by their very nature, and social media is forever. If you put something online, it will never go away. You'll be observed forever, for the foreseeable future. But it doesn't quite hit the same. It hits you in like the ego, which is nice, but it's not meeting your needs, really. Like, you think it might be, you think it will, but then it doesn't. And also, like, you do get the pull of it, and when you are scrolling social media yourself, you see the quote-unquote toys in the museum. As you scroll past toys in the museum constantly, and they seem like they're having a good old time. They seem to be enjoying it, and they're being observed, bro. They're being observed from a distance, behind a plane of glass, but they are being observed, and that's the path they've chosen. And then many of them will do their time behind glass and then realize that that's not where the happiness is and will quit. And it's always like a sad story. You hear about that. It's like old YouTubers or something. old YouTubers or old Twitch streamers just get fed up with a thing and just quit and go do something else. Go get a job. And you always go like, "Huh, man, like they really had something." Or they realize that's not where the happiness is at. So there's our theme, right? And then at the end, the appeal of social media slash the museum is strong, and it's apparent. It makes sense. You stay pristine, locked in time forever, beautiful forever. Think about the eyeballs you could have upon you, but never to be touched again, never to be played with. And some of us like to be touched. So how do we extrapolate that lesson to our current circumstance, sloppers? I think our metaphor might crumble here, but you have to dip your toe behind glass. If you want to be like some sort of a content creator, you dip your toe behind glass, and then you go also, you do both. You do both. At the end of your museum shift, you go talk to human beings and establish connections and date and fuck and have a family. Right? You can't just do the museum glass because it's not fulfilling. It does scratch an itch, though. It scratches an itch. And so some of us are doing both, or trying to do both, right? That's Toy Story 2. It also introduces us to Jessie and Bullseye, who become major characters. Kind of rare, maybe, to have characters who are introduced in a sequel become so central to the plot of the following ones. It is, by the way, a little silly that these fucking old ass washed up toys, like, can you imagine keeping a piggy bank? Presumably like a porcelain piggy bank. Can you imagine having that for 20 years? It's gonna break. It's gonna break in a second. And also, you're not gonna be playing with that, really. You're going to, like, keep it on the shelf full of change. Porcelain piggy bank. It's such a strange toy. But yeah, the T-Rex, like, bro, kids are in a dinosaur phase for a day and a half, maybe a year. I'll give you maybe a year, and you're getting rid of that fucking giant plastic. Like, I could understand a plush, and all kids are different. Maybe I'm just speaking from my own experience here, but plush will stick around longer because it's soft, it's comforting, it's nice. A pointy ass plastic T-Rex, you're just gonna outgrow it, man, fast. Again, I'm willing to be wrong here, but it doesn't really matter. It is also interesting that they eventually just end up writing out the side characters in every subsequent film, through some turn of phrase or plot development. They will figure out how to get the OG cast sidelined, get them out of here, so we can make room for the new toys. Got to introduce new characters so we can sell merchandise and keep things interesting. I think the biggest influx of new toys comes in 3. Is that true? Well, okay, no. Having just seen 5, you get... Oh, that's funny. I just had a thought. Which they have the 2 bears in 4 that are the carnival bears. They're voiced by Key and Peele in 4. I don't think they say a single word in 5. Or if they do, they're voiced by someone else. They did not get Key and Peele for this shit. They got Conan O'Brien, though, for the poop bot, which is fun. He did very well. Anyway, back to 2. So anyway, that's our central theme for 2. It's fine. I think it works pretty well. Woody obviously chooses to establish connections to avoid social media. And that old grumpy fuck who tries to force him into retirement gets his just desserts and has to chew on bugs for the rest of eternity. Rough way to go. We move on to 3, which is my favorite in the franchise. 3 is about accepting mortality. However, there's a wrinkle. There's a wrinkle in 3 in that the theme kind of gets muddied by the fact that there is a little girl who you're just handed off to. So it's kind of about accepting death, but then also once you accept death, you get afterlife. You get another go at it. You realize that like there's more than one parent. Again, if the kids are quote are like are metaphorical parents, um, maybe all right. I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say maybe Andy is our parents, quote unquote parents, and like they're having the little brother in two, and then we're wait a minute. They have the little brother in one being Buzz Lightyear, and then you guys become friends. And then in two, you're presented with the opportunity to put yourself behind glass. You like learn about Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, and you reject those temptations. And then in three, your parents fucking die. Your parents die. But the good news is that your parents are dead, but you have children of your own now, and that's what Bonnie is like new new people in your life after your parents are dead. I think that's our metaphor. And that's definitely the intention of the filmmakers for sure. For sure that's definitely what they were going for, and no one's going to be able to tell me otherwise. I have solved it. I figured out what the theme is, and that is what it is. So Bonnie is your children now. Again, Andy's dead. He's gone on to college. You'll never see him again ever as long as you live because he's dead. But he's still, he's still got his name under the horse's feet. Meaning there's always a little piece of your parents that are with you for the rest of time, man. You can never really get rid of them, even after they die. Yep, that's it. That's we figured it out. So anyway, 3 is about accepting, if not your own mortality, it is your own mortality. It's your parents' mortality. It's accepting mortality at large. You realize that everyone on the planet has a ticking clock attached to them. And it's only a matter of time for all of us. So they are rejected by by Andy at the beginning. They are donated. I think it's actually an accidental donation. That's right. They're going to go up into the attic, but instead they are donated accidentally to the daycare. Which, what is the daycare in our metaphor? Oh no, our metaphor is crumbling. The daycare is purgatory? Maybe? You meet tons of new toys and they have a whole thing going on. And you go like, okay, maybe death isn't so bad because look at all these toys that have quote unquote died. They're having a good time with it. And you have your heaven and hell because you have the older kids room where they play nicely and quietly, and then you have your toddlers. And your toddlers is hell. Like you're getting hit and fucked with and chewed on and smashed. And it's kind of a warped version of what you actually like, which is probably kind of similar to hell, where there's an element of pleasure in every bit of pain, much like a Hellraiser Cenobite. Like the toys do enjoy being played with, but not like this. You're taking it to the utmost extreme. That is kind of what hell is, right? So, yep, our metaphor is 100% rock solid. It works perfectly, and this is in fact heaven and hell is the daycare. But then you get resurrected. um. Okay, we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work. Lock in. You get resurrected, or you go back. You reject death, or you kind of get like, this is what will eventually happen. You get a peek into what will eventually become of you, and what is becoming of your parents right now, or something, or maybe they're two separate metaphors. You get your heaven and hell, purgatory situation with the daycare, and then also your parents are dying for real. They're going to college. So it's over for them. It is funny, by the way, and this has been done to death. This is not a new idea, but it is just really funny that Andy is like a 17-year-old and he's jacking his dick constantly. Constantly. Every night. The toys are watching him jack off. I mean every night. And he discovered it 4 years ago, so the toys are just like, yeah, he's beaten off. Okay, he's jacking it again. He's been jacking his shit for 4 straight years. But 3 is fucking beautiful, incredible, and even if our metaphor is kind of falling apart, it's just a stunningly gorgeous film. I think it is so emotionally impactful, the moment when they're all holding hands and finally coming to terms with, like, there's nothing else we can do. We are all just entering the great beyond, the abyss, and there's nothing to do but just hold each other. Just hold hands, dude. Like, we're kind of just clinging on to each other on this metaphorical conveyor belt into the abyss. That's kind of just what life is at the end of the day. That's all that life is. And it's just so beautiful and stunning, and also the fact that they, like, the setup of the claw thing 2 movies ago, and then you saved us. We are eternally grateful. They have a chance to pay that off, which is fun. But mostly, yeah, it's just the fact that the music, the fire on their, like, the reflection of the fire on their faces and in their eyes, and like their genuine terror. And then I forgot which character it is. The first one to just like grab the hand of the next one. Like, there's, yeah, dude, it's just fucking beautiful. It's fucking beautiful. In that moment, they have accepted death. They have come to terms with the fact that they will all eventually be dead, which is something that all of us do at some point, or we like Lotso deny that fact. Some of us just deny it and never think about it and never come to terms with it ever. And just, it doesn't change the reality of the situation. The situation remains foolproof. You are going to die. For sure. But it's okay if you don't accept it, right? At the end of the day, it's fine. It's going to happen either way. But they all accepted it. They all accept it. And they're, it's a kid's movie and they're not going to kill all of their characters, so you don't really expect that, but it doesn't change the power of the moment. Beautiful, beautiful scene, beautiful music. It's got kind of Terminator 2 music. Dun dun. Dun dun. Oh. It's just fucking stunning. It's stunning. Yeah. It's also great. It kind of reminds me of the fact that it kind of reminds me of Avengers Endgame a bit, in that they very strategically in Infinity War dusted all the new characters and it's just the OGs that are left to save the day. You got to parse down. There's too many characters. You have 75 new toys. Get rid of all the ones except for the OGs. The OGs are the only ones that matter. And yeah. And have them hold hands and accept death in one of the most beautiful and heartbreaking and stunning scenes in cinematic history. Wholeheartedly agree. I believe that, by the way. I'm not being facetious. I love that scene. Love it. I think that scene by itself is the reason that 3 is the best of them. Not to mention all the antics, the whole society that the toys the daycare have, the kind of oppressive regime that they're all following Lotso. how tragic of a character Lotso is. Like the fact that his backstory is amazing. Him and the big baby, plus the third guy, they're lost accidentally, like presumably miles and miles away from their home. They trek all the way back to their house, and they've been replaced. They've simply been replaced. And which is what you would do with a toy, right? You wouldn't refurbish it or like get it back to square one. You just throw it away and get a new one. So yeah, the moment they're left behind, they get replaced, and it makes them salty, and he doesn't love you anymore. That Lotso's great. I don't know who the voice actor is, but he's fantastic. Where's your kid now? Also, yeah, how fucking ruthless Lotso is. Lotso is a straight up he has this like nice redemption arc, and then given the moment's opportunity, he's like, nah, I'm gonna be a murderer. I'm gonna murder these 9 colleagues of mine, toys. He's a ruthless son of a bitch. Which you gotta be. You don't get to the top without being ruthless like that. Love their poker game that they play. It's hilarious. They're using like Monopoly money. So funny. You got Ken and Barbie. Their whole deal is really good. I love their. He's she's trying to make him talk, and she's like ripping his outfits in half, and it's torturous to him. So many great bits. Amazing movie. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. So shouts out to 3. And then okay, so then we move on to 4. 4. How do we make this metaphor work? Metaphor work. What is 4 about? 4 is about realizing that you don't need external validation to have serenity, and that you actually just need loved ones, perhaps romantic partners. You need to like follow true connection instead of trying to receive it from external sources. It is the exact same theme as 2. It's the exact same theme as 2. There is literally no difference. It is a bit of a step back. Like it's kind of a natural progression. You have the little brother, then you have like, again, external validation in 2, and then 3 is like death. And now we're back to external validation. Coming to terms with the fact that that's not going to make you happy. Or even if it does make you happy, it won't make you happy forever. And the people in your life are what truly matters most at the end of the day. And like you have to have love in your life, or else it's kind of meaningless and pointless, and like you're missing a ton out of life. Missing a ton of life if you don't have love in it. Maybe that's what 4 is about. It's also just about moving on, and the fact that friends are there for a time, and it's okay that they're not there forever. Like friends exist in your life for a period in your life, and they're extremely valuable for that period. And it's like, it is sad when they don't end up, like you kind of just lose touch and move on to different walks of life. But that's fine also. Like there's a sadness there, but it's also okay that happens. Normal, even. Happens to everybody. Yeah, so maybe it's about that too. Weaker though, weaker theme than 3. Even if 3 is a little clouded by, I can't, it's not 100% exactly, I can't just say it in a sentence, 3. But mortality is much more interesting than that. And also, we already did the social media thing in 2. So we're taking a step backwards theme-wise. Where are we taking a step forwards, though, sloppers? We're taking the biggest step forward of the franchise in terms of visuals. What was the difference in time between Toy Story 3 and 4? Let's find out, shall we? 9 years, almost a decade. Wow. Toy Story 4 came out in 2019. What a crazy year for movies 2019 was. 2019 was an unreal year for cinema, and so strange that it was right before the world ended. Fascinating. Cosmic coincidence that is. Yeah, so they had roughly a decade to improve on the formula. Not the formula, but the visuals. They improved so much on the animation. It's freaking unreal. The opening scene of 4 is jaw dropping. The rain outside, the rescue, the wet toys, the way that everyone is lit. Looks like a film noir. It is so pretty. I have it on 4K, and it's one of the best looking 4K films in my collection. Unironically, it looks so good. I'm blown away by the visuals in 4, which is, I think, part of the reason that I loved it so much when I first saw it. I also just thought it was a thrill ride and an absolute blast, which I thought less so now. There's kind of long periods in the movie when I'm like, all right, the toys are getting up to their hijinks again. Um, and a very similar sort of villain to 3 also. You have the little doll who was rejected by her owner and is now super resentful of humans. Very similar to 3. But in 3, it'd be like if, well, okay, again super similar, where they both have a society. But the society in 3 is so cool and layered and interesting, and like you have so much going on there. And like the distinction between your class A and class B toys, like a fucking apartheid. It's apartheid, dude. Your toddler toys get pushed into the shitty room because they're new and undesirable, and then your like OG, been around for a minute toys get the older kids because they paid their dues. Maybe it's not apartheid because you can't like pay your dues as a as a black guy. You can't pay your dues and like graduate into whiteness. So my metaphor again, once again, slops. My metaphor once again is wearing thin. Oh no, not my metaphor, dude. What the fuck? I thought it was foolproof. What the fuck? Dang it, man. It is fun. It's a fun movie. 4 is fun. I like the ending quite a bit. I like that Woody decides to go bang that sweet piece of ass, Bo Peep. It is a very silly coincidence that the road trip that all the toys go on with Bonnie and her parents just happens to be the exact location that Bo Peep ended up. I thought there was some sort of, you know, throwaway line waving away that like there's nothing. It just is. Like Woody's just walking and he sees the the light of Bo Peep's lamp and he's like, "What?" And he's yeah, all right, bro. That was convenient. Convenience in this children's movie. I won't stand for it. I won't stand for it. The screenwriters should be ashamed of themselves. No, whatever. It's just a little annoying because the movies are so smart generally. So when stuff like that happens, you go like, "What? Come on, bro. What are we doing? You can do better than that. You can do better than that." What else to say about 4? I don't have much to say about 4. And what's crazy is I've been the starkest defender of 4 since I saw it in 2019. I've been like, bro, you guys are tripping. It's fantastic. It's like might be my favorite, which is crazy. It is very, very middle of the pack. It's not bad. None of these are bad. 0 of the Toy Story movies are bad. Uh, so what else to say? Forky's funny. The trash thing is a good bit. Oh yeah, one thing I noticed this time, he Forky jumps out of the RV. The premise is that Bonnie makes Forky, gives sentience to literal trash, and then Forky is just like constantly trying to throw himself away because he's comfortable in the trash. And then Forky's arc is learning that it's actually pretty chill and cool to be sentient, and you're going to bring a lot of joy to this child, and that being a toy is actually better than being trash. And there is no metaphor for that. That is just simply what the thing is in the movie. There's nothing to extrapolate. That's just the facts. I have no metaphor for you. The thing I noticed this time is that Forky jumps out the RV, and Woody's like, "Oh shit! Wait, Pig! Wait, who the fuck does he ask? I think it's Pig. Pig, how far into the RV park?" And he's like, 4.5 miles. And he's like, "I can make that," and he just jumps out to save Forky. And you're like, 4.5 miles? It might even be 5 miles. I don't remember. It's like a long. I'm like, bro, you are a tiny toy. It's gonna take you weeks to get there, right? Maybe he's fast. I don't know what would be the equivalent to be like a. Maybe it makes sense. Maybe it's actually the perfect amount of time where it's like it's long, but it's not obscenely long. Yeah, I talked myself out of this point. Fuck you. It's fine. Fuck you. Fuck you. It's fine. Why even bring that up? You fucker. I found out that Ned Beatty is the guy who voices Lotso. He's also the guy who I think rapes. He's the only like a pig guy in Deliverance, if I'm not mistaken. Shouts out to that. All the voice work in these movies is fantastic, by the way. I want to give a huge and special shout out to Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, who both just do incredible work. Woody and Buzz, so iconic. Woody especially. So funny. Hilarious. He's like very egotistical. He's extremely flawed, but he's loyal. That's the best line in 4. They're running away. They have their argument or whatever, and Woody's determined to go back for Forky, despite it putting the rest of the group in danger. And like the rest of the group is like, "No, dude, it's over. Like, fuck you. We're not doing. We're not. It's a fork. I'm not going back and putting my life on the line for a freaking piece of plasticware." And he's like, "Well, you guys clearly don't give a fuck about Bonnie, and you want her to die, and you don't give a shit about anything." He's determined, and he's like, again, he's fucking down. And so like, I forgot which one of the other characters is talking smack about Woody as they're exiting. Woody has left to go do the mission. Bo Peep is with the rest of them.
And another thing, Woody asked you for help on your mark, and he treats you like that. Get set. He only cares about himself. No, you're wrong. Woody's always trying to do right by his kid. By putting everyone in danger. Ugh, that kind of crazy loyalty just... You gotta love him for it. Whoa, say what now?
You gotta love him for it. And then turns on a dime and goes back to help him. It's great. That's great. Blind loyalty. That's what you want. That's what you want, dude. Maybe not blind, but like one eye closed loyalty. Like willing to look the other way on a lot of stuff. Because you love them, you know? Not everything. If I start punching babies in the face, I don't want my partner to... I think they should call me out for that. So anyway, 4 is pretty good. But let's get to 5, dude. Just got out of the theater. General thoughts. Looks pretty good. I like that Jesse's the main character. I think that it is cool that they sideline Woody. And like, there's the first 30 minutes, dude, there's literally 0 Woody. And I was like, let's fucking go, dude. Like, Jesse's just leading this pack. She is filling the role that Woody's left. She's the boss. Buzz is second in command still. It's going really well. And then they feel the need to bring Woody back through a very silly, contrived misunderstanding, which you didn't need. I hate stuff like that in script writing. There's so definitely a freaking better way to get Woody into the gang to get him back. How about you call him and you ask for help for real instead of this like, whoops, the walkie-talkie was buzzing in and out and he thought that I needed help and that's why he's here. How about you just call him and you say, listen, dude, I don't know what the fuck to do. Bonnie has an iPad and she's spending no time with us and she's also like not making friends and we're all really concerned and I'm in over my head and I need your help. Would you come help me? Isn't that just way better? Again, a human vulnerable moment to just ask the old guy for help and then he gets you know, he's like, well, you could even have a little moment where he's like, well, you know, I've got it pretty good out here. And then Jesse's like, you whatever, starts to cry or is just like, listen, I do my best to fill in your shoes, but you know, I'm in over my head. I don't know what the fuck to do. I need you, dude. Like, please. Then he comes and he can be like a hero and down to help. But alas, you have a sitcom tier misunderstanding, which leads to him showing up, which sucks. Um, the iPad is interesting. The plot point is interesting. It's obviously super relevant for now. There's tons of shots of kids just staring at the iPad, like mouth agape, which is fun. And what there was not enough of is removing the iPad and having them freak out, flip out like crazy, which is what happens in real life. There was not nearly enough of pandemonium because you took the iPad away. Also weird that they have like WhatsApp on the iPad. And I keep saying the word iPad. It's like a think it's like a learn, play games, educational tablet. But you have like messaging ability with your friends, which is odd. I'm like that. Would that exist? I don't think so. That could be abused real fast, really easily, and really quickly by adults. You know. But whatever, you need the plot to happen. I'm fine with that. So Jesse's leading this movie. I love that she has again the goal of every toy is to be played with and also to like keep an eye out for their kid. It's so sweet to me that like the central conceit of the film that these toys are willing to put their lives in danger for the betterment of their kid. They're willing to put themselves out there because their kid is in need. It's very very sweet and I love that as like as a core concept. That's every one of these movies is that. Um And Woody's really the one leading the charge in that regard. Many of the other toys are down to whatever, like they go like, whoop, I guess that's happening. Because there is a lot of stuff in a toy's life that is out of their control. New toys arrive, old toys get boxed up, shipped away, put in the attic. There's some things that toys can't control, but there's the lines get blurry a lot of the time, and like you need a strong leader in someone like Woody who is down to, again, put himself out there for the betterment of the group. He's an incredible leader. He's an incredible leader, and we could all take a page out of his book. And Jessie's doing her best to fill in those shoes in 5, mostly succeeding in filling those shoes. So the tech angle is interesting. Do we have a lofty metaphor in 5? Let me think about that. Tech would be an existential threat. If we take it at face value, the movie is about adopting tech into your life as a kid. And how does that work? How does it work when you're used to, you know, your whole life you've been playing with toys and then suddenly toys are like whatever. You know what the face value thing is on the poster, you know of it. But metaphorically, if we dig a layer deeper, what can we get to? This is like a big brother. Oh no. This is exactly the same as 1, isn't it? It's getting a little brother, a cool little brother who is better than you and more fun than you and that everyone likes to play with. And he gets like crazy popular and yeah, it's just jealousy because of the new thing that you don't understand. It's exactly the same theme as 1. Shit. So they've remade the first film with a new coat of paint immediately after remaking the second film with a new coat of paint in 4. 4 is 2, 5 is 1. And presumably 6 will be 3 because that's the one they haven't remade yet. And we'll get another take on mortality. And you know what? It's probably going to be the second best or third best film in the franchise because that's just an inherently much more interesting premise. So yeah, it is literally identical. Come to think of it, to 1. When you strip away the fresh coat of paint and the new characters, you realize that yeah, it's the same. You're being replaced by something you don't understand. The world is changing. It is actually impossible to maintain what you thought of as the status quo in your brain. I forgot who. It's Louis. Of course, it's always Louis. Louis C.K. newest special, which I guess we'll talk about briefly in the "What Have I Been Watching" segment. This entire podcast has been "What Have I Been Watching," but we'll get past Toy Story here momentarily. After another 45 to an hour. Just kidding. Louis has a great point, which is that you spend your whole life figuring out the world, and then you get pretty good at navigating the world, and then the world changes. And you're fucked. It happens every single time. It is unavoidable. And I don't know when the cutoff is different for everyone. Most people give up pretty quick, or like just, and then some people cling on to relevance for a long time. I'm interested in what the kids are talking about still, but I think that will probably go away eventually. But anyway, that's what 5 is about, and it's pretty good. I think it is heartfelt, it's sweet, it's a little contrived, it's a little convenient. There's a lot of plot points that are like, oh, we're doing for real again. Like, it's the same house that Jesse grew up in. No, that actually was sweet. I take that back. That was sweet because her marker is still faded and written on her shoe or pants. So the old couple takes her back to the thing. Okay, that's fine. I'll take that back. That's fine. Again, not much I didn't like. I just didn't. It was just good. It was just solid. The only 2 that really blow my tits off are 3 and 1. I think 3 and 1 are both incredible. 3 is close to like a 5-star film for me. Ranking. Final ranking of the franchise. 3, 1, 4, 5, 2. Yep. 3, 1, 4, 5, 2. I think that's correct. Yep. I'm not I just don't like Toy Story 2. It's not my bag. You nerds can enjoy it all you like. It's fine. 3 isn't a fucking damn near masterpiece. So anyway, that's Toy Story Slops. It's funny because you don't know what you're gonna name the episode before you start recording. Like, I have a list of slopics that I'm gonna discuss, but I was like, yeah, and we'll talk about Toy Story for a bit. It's been like 80 minutes. What do you like? I don't know what to tell you, brother. I'm passionate about this slopic. Toy Story's goated. One of the best, most consistent franchises, period. I think yeah, I mean, again, the worst Toy Story film, in my opinion, 2. Many people will say 5. Even the worst Toy Story film is better than most other things you're gonna find, and you would be you can do a lot worse than going to see Toy Story 5 in theaters, right? Meow. It's doing very, very well. They do not need your money, but if you want to spend an afternoon with your own lonesome. If you want to take your kids, or you got kids, you want to take a romantic partner, you want to take an iPad. Take an iPad into the theater and scroll reels at full volume while the movie is playing. And then if anyone complains, you can say, no, 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 I'm cosplaying. I'm cosplaying as the lily pad frog thing in the fucking film. Shouts out to Toy Story. God love ya. God love to Andrew Stanton, I think is who directed 5. Who directed 5? It was not a Pete Docter production. No, 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 no. Was it? No way. No, it was not Pete Docter. Pete Docter just produced it because Pete Docter does not miss. Not that Toy Story 5 was a miss, but he wouldn't stoop to that level. Making the 5th film in a franchise. Andrew Stanton, the second best Pixar director, directed this film. Quality freaking filmmaker, dude. Wall-E, Finding Nemo, Bug's Life. Let's figure out what else he's done. Oh, he did 3 Body Problem. Okay, he did an episode of 3 Body Problem. A couple episodes of Stranger Things. Yeah, he's done like some Slop also. Did Finding Dory and now Toy Story 5. So he did like Finding Nemo, actually goated fucking movie. Incredible film. One of the best Pixar movies. Wall-E, actually goated. One of the best Pixar movies. But then he's done a couple of sequels late in the game. He directed an episode of Better Call Saul? Season 4, episode 6, Pinata. Which episode is this? While Jimmy daydreams about reconstituting Wexler McGill, Kim sets out to secure her own future. Mike puts a plan into action for Gus. Don't remember this episode, but shouts out to Pete Docter for directing an episode of my favorite television show. Pete Docter, not Pete Docter, God. These Pixar directors. No, Andrew Stanton. Pete Docter is the best Pixar director by far. The GOAT. Anyway, that's if you don't count Brad Bird. Shit. Dang it. Yeah, dude, I would count Brad Bird. He's only done 2, but they're both my favorite. So Pete Docter's only second. Monsters Inc., Up, Inside Out, Soul. Incredible resume. Did not touch Inside Out 2, that abomination. It's not an abomination, but I didn't like it at all. All right, enough Pixar, enough. Moving on. Slopic number 2 after 90 straight minutes of talking about the Toy Story. PlayStation this week announced that they will be shutting down all physical disc production starting next year. They will not be producing any physical discs for any games ever again, and it will be exclusively download codes. So they're still going to have the plastic cases. So like some period or some section of their population is still like walking through Walmart and seeing GTA 6 on the shelf and going like, oh yeah, GTA 6, okay, I'll buy that. But most of the world these days is buying games digitally. The issue with that is that there's 0 resale value. And also they can yank it from you at a moment's notice at any point for any reason. This week, Sony lost the licensing agreement for some giant number of films on their PlayStation Network, and people that had purchased those movies digitally just don't have those movies anymore because PlayStation lost the ability to have them on their platform. So they're not offering refunds or anything. They're just saying, "Sorry, bub. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Your movie's not here anymore." That is the power of physical media. They can't take that shit from you. Mostly, I'm in it for the resale value, though. I'm not one to keep a game on my shelf like I am a movie. Like once I play a game, I'm like reselling it, dude. That's kind of the beauty of gaming in general, is that. And I hate the idea of just having a freaking download code in a plastic case. So stupid. There's actually no point in buying the physical case except for maybe you want it on your shelf, but there's no point. Like, you may as well download it, pre-download it on the app so that when it's released you can just play it right away. Like, why would you ever drive to GameStop or like GameStop? GameStop is fucked, dude. They've been propped up exclusively on their meme stock. The whole AMC GameStop meme stock thing. My nose is itching like a motherfucker. I apologize. They've been propped up on that for years now, and that will eventually cease to exist. So they are fucked. It is over for them. It's over. But yeah, it's. I'm sure the guy, the CEO, GameStop himself, fell to his knees when he read this news, because this is like, PlayStation is the biggest player in this game. They have power. They can move the market however they want, because it's like them and Nintendo are the only two real players in the console market these days. Xbox is out, so they can swing their dick around and do this. So I'm sure the other ones will follow suit eventually. It might not be soon, but it'll be eventually. You also have an opportunity as Xbox to become the physical console, where you're not like, you're going to appeal to people who that matters to. It's a small niche, but it is there. They need every dollar they can get. It does just suck though. I saw also a tweet that was like, Sony's the one making most of the Blu-rays these days too. Like, I was like, I could see that. I could see them quitting. The moment it's not profitable, they'll quit, obviously. But that would be sad. Be very sad. A Blu-ray boy. A Blu-ray boy. I saw some other fucking tweet, by the way, that was like, yeah, feel free to buy a DVD or a Blu-ray, but you guys know about disc rot? You never heard about disc rot? Huh? Did you know that if you put a Blu-ray on your shelf, it's gonna rot, and you can't just like pick it up in a few years? It's like in a year it's gonna be useless and unreadable. I was like, oh fuck, I didn't know that. That's really sad and really actually genuinely depressing. Google it. Disc rot happens after like 50 years. So we're good. Everything's fine. I'll be dead by then. Yeah, so anyway, I never had a PlayStation. I think it's like silly to buy one of the disc at this point, a disc drive. I still might. I was thinking about getting a PlayStation because I have nothing I can play GTA 6 on, which I'm sad about. Maybe I'll build a PC before then and be able to play GTA 6. We'll see. We shall see. Ever since the jaw surgery, when I talk too long, it's almost exclusively when I'm doing a podcast. My nose starts itching. It's like the vibrations are hitting my new nose differently. It's very odd, and I don't like it. And I'm wondering if it's a common symptom after the surgery. Like, your nose does move. Like, it is in a different place now than it was before the surgery. So I'm assuming the vibrations of me talking, like, my face is just not used to it yet. Hopefully it'll go away. It's very odd and unsettling, and I don't much care for it. So what have I been watching, sloppers, other than Toy Story? I'm glad you asked. I watched the new Jackass. Jackass number 5 just came out shortly before Toy Story 5. Jackass has a similar place in my heart to the Toy Story films. I'm weirdly connected to these guys. I think that they produce incredible art, and I love the Jackass movies so much. The hardest I've ever laughed probably in my life is seeing the third one with my friends in the theater. Definitely the hardest I've ever laughed in a theater is number 3. And then another group of friends all watched 4, which I think is incredible. 4 is like unbelievable. It's like it is crazy to me that they are able to maintain the same tone as the first three 15, 20 years later, however long it was between 3 and 4. Like more than a decade passed and they remade the movie and the tone is identical. Like it's crazy. It's just as good as the previous ones. It's like they never missed a beat. They're just all old now. After the fourth one came out, I was like, I could unironically see a Criterion box set of these movies. Not to mention the .5s. There's a .5 in between every one of the major installments. There's 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, and 4.5. And they're all the .5s are fantastic. It's a lot. It's like the B-sides, the stunts that they didn't use in the original, or in the film. And there's also it's intercut with like interview footage of the gang on set, and it's like the productions are just they look so much fun, but they're also kind of hellish because they're fucking with each other constantly, always trying to get footage. I think they call it footage. I'm like, yeah, you never know. You can barely sleep around here because like people are behind every corner is a guy ready to kick you in the nuts for footage. But the um the content is just next level. It's so good. So I love 4, and I was like, well, I mean, they've knocked it out of the park 4 times in a row. Let's see if they can do it a 5th. And I knew about the clip show element. If you don't know, the 5th one is intercut with a bunch of. It's like it is the last one. They are not doing another one after 5, although that it is exactly what they said after 4. But Knoxville in this one gets emotional and like starts crying twice about this being the last one. So I do actually think this is for real the last one now. But they intercut the new stuff with a best of, like a clip show, you know, which they definitely earned the right to do. Them have been around. Them have been what the fuck is the term? They've been around for a long time. They've earned the ability to do a clip show, and the clip show stuff was my favorite part of the film. I expected it to be the opposite, where I was like, I hope they don't do a lot of the clip show stuff because I want to see new stuff. But the new stuff they added was mid. I'm sorry to say. It was mid. The film in general was pretty mid. I didn't love it, and this kind of honestly stomped on my hopes for the Criterion box set. I was like, if they maintained the quality of the first 4 in the 5th one, I was like, bro, no brainer. For real, put these shits into the Criterion collection. They have a ton of significance in film history. It is unironically worth doing. But now I'm like, oh, it's harder to see. It's harder to see now. I still enjoyed it. I saw it with some friends. We were laughing a fair amount. Again, the clip show stuff is the best part. But it's just not. It ain't what it was. It's not 4. And again, like I had a friend say, well, like, yeah, they're all old now. Of course it's gonna be not as good. I'm like, no, they were old in the last one, and the last one was great. So I'm not sure what happened. The drop off is definitely apparent though. But anyway, yeah, I still love those boys. Still love the franchise. Think all of it's very, very cool. Just is like a beautiful, wholesome, hilarious thing, Jackass, and it's just great. I don't know what to tell you. It's fucking awesome. Yeah. I've seen tons of stuff on Twitter this week about like the best of, and the prevailing or the biggest tweet that I saw was that like Jackass is at its best when they're doing Looney Tunes stuff in real life. That's so true. The hilarious thing in 4 when Knoxville's just standing there and he's painted. It's like the game that everyone's playing right now. He's painted like the wall behind him, like a tree on the left side of his body, and I don't know what the other half of him is, but there's a bull, and he's just like, oh, he's just trying to be invisible. That stuff is so good. The editor in me wants to go through all 5 of them and just get the best stuff and create a giant amalgamation of just the best stuff. But it'll be 5 hours long. There's probably an hour of incredible stuff in each of these. Minus 5. 5 is probably 15, 20 minutes of great stuff. But yeah, it's any amount, even if it's incredible the whole way, 5 hours of Jackass is a tough sit. And also, where would I put it? Like, it would be a big passion project that would be for no one. So anyway, maybe I'll still do that. I love it. I love Jackass. I'm, shouts out to those guys. Shouts out to Knoxville, the coolest fucking guy ever. Perfect pairing, him and Fear Factor. Probably worth seeing still. If you're a Jackass fan, you're not gonna not see it, but it's not as good as 4. Ranking of the franchise. I'm so glad you asked. It is strikingly similar to Toy Story. 3, 4, 1, 2, 5. Is that right? Yep. 3, 4, 1, 2, 5. So Toy Story is 3, 1, 4, 5, 2. Jackass is 3, 4, 1, 2, 5. Both incredible franchises, both of the 5th entry in theaters right now. A hilarious double feature to watch Toy Story and Jackass 5 in the same day. I recommend it. Don't not do that. You have the opportunity to do that. Don't not do that. Oh yeah, it's funny that LeBron is quitting but not quitting. It's funny that he's leaving the Cavs. That's funny. I have no commentary. It's just funny. It's just a hilarious move. Tom Brady did the same shit, right? But Tom Brady went and immediately got a Super Bowl, so maybe LeBron will do the same thing. Maybe he'll get another ring in a different Golden State or wherever he's going. And it's just funny that he's doing that. It's great. Like, everyone's like, yeah, he's gonna retire. He's like, nope, I'm going to leave. Shouts out to LeBron, the GOAT. Sloppers, I think that's all I have for you. I really appreciate you guys listening. Godspeed to you all. And I will see you in 7 days' time. Goodbye.